Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today this evening. While we wait for the event to begin, let's break some ice. As you all can see, there's a poll on your screen right now. I request all the participants to please participate in the poll and answer to the questions in the poll. Thank you so much. This poll will help us understand how much you know about FFE. I'm sure most of you have been connected with FFE for quite some time now, and this poll will help us know about you on FFE more. Students who have just joined in, I request you to please participate in the poll, which is on your screen right now. We have, we'll be sharing the results of the poll in some time. Wait for a few more seconds before we start the event today. I request all the participants to Please participate in the poll. The poll is on the screen, currently on your screen right now. Thank you so much for everyone to participate in the poll today. Hello and good evening, everyone. I am Taruna Agnani, and it is my pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to all of you to FFE's virtual meet. With the pandemic hitting us physically and emotionally, it has become all the more necessary for us to stay connected and come together to achieve our goals with much more enthusiasm and positivity. And precisely the reason why we are conducting the session today for our scholars studying in West Bengal. We are delighted to have with us today our scholars, facilitators, mentors, and alumni from different parts of the country. And we are extremely grateful to our donors who are also joining us today from West Bengal. A very warm welcome to Ms. Sagarika Sen, Mr. Anurag Pratap, Ms. Rimi, and team members of Capgemini for joining us today and spending their valuable time with us. We are thankful and happy to have you all with us today. Before we move ahead with the first agenda for the evening, I would like to share the results of the poll. The results looks quite interesting, and if you didn't know any of these answers, hopefully by the end of the session today, you will be able to figure them out. I would now like to begin this evening by inviting FFE's Managing Trustee, Dr. Sudha Kedal, to address the gathering. Dr. Sudha has been volunteering for FFE for more than a decade, first in the US and from 2010 in India, beginning with the establishment of FFE's office in Bangalore. Please welcome Dr. Sudha Kedal.
Thank you, Taruna, and I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. We are delighted to have Mr. Nirmalya Khan from Capgemini join us this evening. Thank you for joining us. A very hearty welcome to our scholars, our alumni, our facilitators, and our numerous donors. Thank you for being here with us this evening. I'd like to start by quickly telling you a little bit about the Foundation for Excellence and where we are today. The history of the foundation, it was started by Dr. Prabhu Goel. The previous slide, please. It was started by Dr. Prabhu Goel in the year 1994, and it was established in USA. Over time, a lot of individuals from the US continued to support the scholarship program, which was always in India. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see this, see the slideshow. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, it was, as I mentioned, it was started in 1994 by Dr. Prabhu Goel in the US. Students graduated and began in India. Students got the scholarship, graduated, and when they started to work, they wanted to give back to the foundation. And that is when the Foundation for Excellence India Trust was established in the year 2003. Since that time, in the last 25 years, FFE has been granting merit and means scholarships to students all over India. And today we are one of the largest scholarship granting organizations in the higher education space in India. We're very proud indeed of this achievement. And last year we hit over a milestone of over 23,000 students that we've supported in scholarships. Next slide, please. What does FFE India Trust do? As you all know, we have a single office, which is in Bangalore, and we administer the National Scholarship Program today that's in 27 states in India. The scholarship program, as you know, supports students. It's a merit and means scholarship program supporting students in engineering, medicine, law, and B.Pharm. Two programs that we launched last year was medicine and B.Pharm. I'm sorry, B.Pharm and law. So what else does FFE India Trust do? We raise funds for the scholarship program and for the two other programs that we run, the skills training program and the mentoring program. We manage the large base of scholars, our alumni, our growing donor base. We also hold these events, and we work very closely with our volunteer base, a very valuable group of individuals whom we call facilitators. I want to thank all of them for participating in this event today. And this entire endeavor is being supported by over 40 corporates, several, as you will soon see, several sponsors, including, these are sponsors that include charitable trusts, foundations, and our very own alumni and numerous individuals. So I want to go on to tell you what our facilitators do. They are a very important part of our work. They are the ones that are associated with each student. All of you students know your facilitators. They are the backbone, verify student information, and they also serve as mentors to several students through their journey. I want to thank all our volunteer facilitators for their tireless, dedicated services to the Foundation for Excellence. Next slide, please. Where are we today? As you can see, it's been an exponential growth. We have been awarding scholarships successfully for the last, as I mentioned, this is our 26th year. Last year alone, we awarded over 6,300 scholarships. You can see that we are close to 190 crores in scholarships, over 63,000 scholarships awarded to students all over India. Next slide, please. So how are we placed in West Bengal? I just want to tell you that last year, we awarded over 6,300 scholarships. Of those, 379 were to students in West Bengal. And you can see that 92% of our cohort in West Bengal are men. A very small number, 8% are women. This is not our average. In India, for FFE, it's 20% are women. And I hope this year we can break the record, we can change it, we can shift it, and have more women scholars enter the FFE family. You can see the distribution by course. This is one of the few states where we have a good number of students pursuing medicine. Usually it's 80% engineering and 20% medicine. You can see there are more number of MBBS scholars here, and we have a good representation of students in B.Pharm and MTech as well. And last year alone, we awarded over 1.5 crores in scholarships to students in West Bengal alone. Next slide, please. What does FFE do besides scholarships? All of you engineering students are now going through a skills training program. In the past, it was supported by a generous grant from the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation. Today, we're very proud that Capgemini is our partner funding the skills training program. And these are skills for employability. So please make sure that every opportunity that FFE provides you is indeed grabbed and you are making use of these opportunities. Besides skills training, we also offer a mentoring program for engineering students. And this is again skills so that you are ready to enter your careers, whether it is in the corporate world, whether it's entrepreneurship, or you want to enter the civil services, or whatever your dreams are, or even pursue higher studies. We do our very best to provide and help with internships and placements. But we believe that with the skills that you will acquire during your time with FFE, you will have an easier time finding the job of your dreams. Next slide, please. This is a very important slide because it talks about the circle of giving. And what is the circle of giving? As you all know, all you students have signed a pledge when you got your scholarship and when you will get your scholarship that you will support the education of at least 2 students by paying forward to FFE to support students. And we're very proud that our alumni, who are the future of the Foundation for Excellence, are indeed honoring their pledge of support. Last year alone, in 2019-20, over 1,500 of our alumni contributed over 1 crore in donations to the foundation. And if this were to continue, FFE will be very proudly will be able to say we are a self-sustaining organization. And you can see that our alumni, over 2,200 of them, have either directly made contributions to FFE or indirectly have connected FFE to the companies where they work. They have connected us to their networks, all of whom have grown and have contributed to FFE so that we can expand our scholarship program and our other related programs. Next slide, please. So this is a wonderful slide of all the people and organizations and corporates who are part of our support network. And all of you scholars may be able to spot and identify the corporates that are sponsoring your scholarship. We are very grateful for this about 40 corporates today who are part of our circle of support to the Foundation for Excellence. Next slide, please. We are also very happy and proud of our growing base of foundations that support us. That includes a World of Opportunity Foundation that you see at the top left-hand corner. It is the Aditya Birla Group that supports a large number of students. We have Cognizant Foundation, and you can see other foundations that you may be familiar with, including the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation that's supporting the skills training program. Next slide, please. And how are we making all of these programs possible? It's possible because we have a truly dedicated, committed, and dynamic team in Bangalore. That includes the finance team, the training and mentoring team, the alumni team, the donor relations team, the scholarship team, our technologist, and we have general admin team as well. And it is all of these people who work tirelessly to make our programs possible. My thanks to each and every one of them. And I hope we will continue to grow with the kind of support we receive from them and all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sudha. I'm very sure that the presentation has answered questions that were posted on the poll. Before we go ahead, students, we have, I would request all the participants to please use the Q&A box to post any questions that you may have. We will have a question and answer session at the end of this event, and all the questions will be addressed then. Today, not only do we have our stakeholders from across India, but we also have a message from FFE's founder, Dr. Prabhu Goel, who's currently in the US, an IIT Kanpur alumnus and the recipient of President's Gold Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Goel received a PhD in electrical engineering from Carnegie Mellon University. Dr. Prabhu and his wife, Mrs. Poonam Goel, established the Foundation for Excellence in 1994. Dr. Goel started his career with management and technical position at IBM. And over time, he has served on the board of directors of many private and public companies. Let us now listen to Dr. Prabhu Goel's message.
Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be able to welcome you all to this FFE Open House. In particular, I want to welcome our scholars, our facilitators, management team, our guests, and our esteemed donors. A very, very warm welcome to each and every one of you. I want to convey a few messages in this video. It will be short. First, to the scholars. These are difficult times indeed. COVID is not easy to deal with under any circumstances. To have to complete your education in an environment where you cannot be at school in person is even harder, with or without online courses. I know that our scholars can overcome these challenges. And why do I have this confidence? The reason I have this confidence is you, because you have shown in the past that you can overcome any odds to be successful. To get to where you are today, you did indeed overcome insurmountable odds. I congratulate you for that, and I wish you all the best for your continuing efforts and success. To the alumni that are present today, I want to remind you to continue your connections with FFE as you move forward in life, and do not forget to help others who have not been as fortunate as yourselves. Help them achieve and overcome the same obstacles that you had to face in your lives. For all our scholars, alumni or current scholars, keep upskilling yourself. The more valuable you are to the world around you, the more valuable you become to yourself. Continue to develop new skills. Make yourself more valuable. To our current scholars, we have a lot of online programs at FFE that we offer for upskilling. Online courses for soft skills. We have technical courses that we use to supplement your college education. And we have supplemental courses in things like Python, etc., that are available to you. So please do take advantage of them and make them enhance your value. To the facilitators that are out there today, we could not have been where we are today in terms of connecting with the scholars had it not been for you. And you do this as volunteers. We're very grateful to you for that. And finally, to our esteemed donors, this entire effort that we go through, this entire organization would not be possible without your financial support and generosity. The fact that you come back and support us year after year is what keeps us going, what keeps our scholars going, and what allows us to be successful. Thank you so, so very much. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I hope we all come out of it learning a lot more on how to address the challenges of the future. Thank you all.
A wonderful and inspiring message from FFE's founder, Dr. Prabhu Goel. Today, as a keynote speaker, we have with us Mr. Nirmalya Khan. Mr. Nirmalya is the Vice President at Capgemini India and manages the vast portfolio of its finance and accounting, procurement, compliance, legal, marketing and communication, audit and global risk globally across locations in India, Poland, Guatemala, Brazil, and China. He's also location head of Capgemini's Kolkata and Bhubaneswar delivery centers. Prior to joining to Capgemini, he was with Tata Consultancy Services, Accenture, GE, and Xerox. With over 27 years of experience across industries, including manufacturing, audit, and IT sectors, his focus has always been on helping clients and global organizations achieve their business objectives through operational excellence, transformation, and robotic process automation. Please welcome Mr. Nirmalya.
Thank you so much for the introduction. And I think it was an excellent introduction by Sudha Madam, and Dr. Goel has set a very good context to the real scenario or the situation where we are in today. And I'm really indeed privileged to be part of this discussion today because in this August occasion, there are so many distinguished dignitaries who are there on this call, as well as most important people who are on the call are the futures of tomorrow, correct? The doctors, the engineers, different BPharm students, and people who will run the country, run the economy, and they will be the successful individuals of tomorrow. So which is indeed a very proud moment for all of us to interact with all of you guys who are on the call. The only little concern that I have, and when the data exactly Dr. Sudha Madam had brought it up, that the number of women students that we see here in Kolkata or West Bengal is not at par with the numbers in India. So I would really look forward to better numbers there. And she has put in a target as 20% overall for India. So why not for West Bengal. So that should ideally be breached over a period of time. So I would encourage all the women leaders to come up and take the charge. And indeed, this is a wonderful opportunity for all of you to excel and succeed. Actually, the situation where we are in currently, that is because of the COVID-19 situation, and most of the industries, many of the different sectors have suffered quite a bit because of the current situation. And hence, many of the companies, many of the corporates, many other people are actually mentioning this as new normal. Okay, because what we need to, over a period of time, accept that this is a new situation which has come in, and we have to live with it for some more time. And the impact of this might continue for some more time, but we as individuals need to come out of the situation. And hence, one of the very famous expression in English you all would have read through, which says, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Okay, the exact meaning of that being, when a situation becomes very difficult, the strong will work harder and harder to meet the challenge. And that's what is exactly the essence of that really important famous expression we have in English. And there are many other things. You are very, very good individuals. You are meritorious students. There are hundreds of thousands of people and lakhs and crores who aspire to be engineers and doctors of tomorrow. You have crossed the first barrier in life. Yeah. Many of the people, I'm sure, on the call also have aspired to be doctors and engineers of tomorrow. Due to some reason or the other, couldn't make it, or something else. But you are individuals who have actually cleared that, correct? The first hurdle to move towards that step. The next step is just completion, which is just few years from now. The situation in the current context doesn't change anything. A doctor is a doctor, an engineer is an engineer. After you clear the exams, it will be like that. For example, if you take my example, if I wouldn't have been what I am today, my aspiration initially was to become an engineer. Then I thought I would become a doctor, but finally landed up becoming a chartered accountant and cost and management accountant. So that's how life takes you through. But indeed, there are certain steps which will really path or pave the way towards which career progression or career direction you will take. But in the current context and scenario, most important thing which Dr. Goel touched upon is what we need to do is not, in the current situation, sit idle and think that I don't have classes, I have not to go to the school or online things, and I have some spare time. Don't waste your time. Upskill, cross-skill, learn new things. What is going on in the industry? What are the other people doing? Learn that. That will really help you in the long term. Find something new to try. Always take charge of something new. Don't keep your brain idle. Ask friends, ask your other colleagues, and brainstorm. Think what situation we are in and what they think about the situation. Always have a very positive reinforcement. Okay, think about it that you are completely motivated, you have the courage, you have the proper energy, and not at all confused or defeated in life. Keep reading, keep listening to motivational speeches, learn new skills, regenerate yourself through different other things like yoga, music, and indeed, successful people are the people who fight with uncertainties. And uncertainty is going to be a part of life, not at this stage, but at every step that you cross. And hence, this is just a learning or a stepping stone to your future. As it challenges you more, you become better and bigger individual to manage larger and better things in life. So don't think that, okay, you experience any kind of a setback at this stage. It is nothing. It is a temporary phenomena. We all will come out of this fairly soon. We need to be motivated. We need to be charged up. We need to have the confidence. And I'm sure that we'll come out with flying colors. If, for example, somebody is fearing some kind of a rejection, it is equivalent to fearing a failure. People, if you ask me, I can give examples, thousands. If you want to be at least progressing in the hierarchy of an organization, if you are actually doing good in studies, wherever you are, your success will never come without failure. And failure, you have never to look at it as a failure. Always think failure as an opportunity to learn something new. Because if I have failed, I have failed because of some reason. Try to brainstorm, try to understand, try to introspect why I have failed. That will give you the reason to fail, and that will make you much more successful next time you deal with the same situation which you are in. Take this opportunity where you are in to create some new project, new businesses. Ask people who need your help. Any part-time job or anything, if somebody asks you to be supporting with, don't get into money or other stuff. Help them support with that. And very, very important thing is, in any kind of a situation, most important part is also giving back to the society. Think differently. Whenever there is an opportunity, whenever there is a possibility, start getting involved in those kind of activities. It's not always monetary. Your support in whichever form and shape you give to those people who need, just a few words, caring words, really makes a lot of difference to many people. Just to give an example, we support multiple NGOs. One of the NGOs, I went there, and while going, one of the lady volunteers from Capgemini had bought some of the oranges for the kids there. And they are very, around 30 kids who are being supported by that NGO. When we went there, I thought that, okay, let us have a discussion, was talking to them. And when the oranges were handed over to the kids, all those 32 kids standing in a row with the oranges high up on the air, holding it high, showing that, okay, that's a prized position for me, was a very interesting thing. That gives you a very good feeling that at least that 5 rupees, 6 rupees thing is making somebody so extremely happy about it. And it's not the value of the product, but it's the intent with which you are giving that thing and the person who is receiving it. Similarly, when we need to look at it and always think about it from that perspective that helps support people. Think about people. We could have been in that situation any day. We could be in that situation any day. So don't look at those people differently. So we should look at them with compassion. We should support whenever there is an opportunity with whatever means and mode we can. And I think with that, indeed, it's very, very interesting to understand the background of this. FFE is doing a fantastic job, and I'm very, very thankful that we are aligned and are partners with FFE in this noble journey. So again, I repeat, stay motivated, learn, upskill, tide over these times, and be competitive. And as Sudha Madam very rightly said, as you grow in life, as you become successful people, as you graduate and become doctors, engineers, and successful human beings, remember that somebody has helped you to be there. So I need to give back to those people who are now the people who need to come up and go up the stair. Support them whenever there is an opportunity, whenever there is a need, and go ahead in life. You all will be extremely successful individuals in your career, in the long term, and in few years from now. I'll end this with a couple of quotes. You know Martin Luther King. He said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort." Yeah, in moments of comfort, when we are supported by our um, parents, we are supported by some other support, we have everything there. It's the comfort and convenience which we say. But he says, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. Yeah. So very rightly said, when there is a challenge that comes in and there is a controversy which comes in, you fight it out and you stand out, and you all have the power to do that. Yes. Each one of you have the power to do that. You stand out and prove that you are the best. You are not the better or the good. You are the best. And also very rightly remember in your mind that you are braver actually than you believe, and much more stronger than you seem, and much more smarter than actually you think. Okay. So because this is human being, the brain, the cells which are there in the brain, your physical body that God has given us, everything empowers you to do much, much more than which you are doing today. and ask each one of us on the call, you will really get the same response. So be very confident, be charged up, learn new skills. Things are going to be in the best possible way in few years from now. Thanks everyone. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Any other questions and other stuff, I think I'll have to drop off for another call, which is coming up for me. But wish you all the best, and you all will come up with flying colors. And I look forward to meet many of you in Capgemini when you join as freshers in the organization, or you join for some other work, because many of the alumni from FFE are working with Capgemini. I understand around 65 of them are there and 11 more are joining. I would love to see many of you joining Capgemini in the future times to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this motivating and inspiring message for our scholars. Capgemini, in fact, has been supporting FFE since 2014 and has awarded scholarship to more than 200 students in both medicine and engineering. Capgemini has also partnered with FFE in its mentorship program and recently in skills and training program as well. We are very thankful to Capgemini for its continued support and partnership with FFE. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Participants, a gentle reminder, please keep posting your questions in the Q&A box. Thank you so much. FFE has been very fortunate to be backed by the team of highly motivated and dedicated facilitators who have been helping FFE through its tireless efforts and voluntary services. We have with us today one of our facilitators from Kolkata, Mr. Rajiv Gupta Sarma, who has been actively involved with FFE for a very long time. Can we have his video, please?
Good evening to all of you who are present in this webinar organized by Foundation for Excellence for Calcutta chapter. My name is Rajiv Gupta Sarma. I stay in Kolkata and by profession I am an engineer. My association with Foundation for Excellence goes back in the year 2002 when one of my friends who stay in USA requested me to be a facilitator on behalf of FFE. And since then, this journey is continuing, and I am grateful to FFE that they have extended that opportunity to me in selecting the students of financially weaker section of the society. Presently, there are 34 students who are studying in different government engineering and medical colleges in the field of medicine and engineering. I am happy to say that one of the students, whose name is Arghodip Das, who was a student of Jadavpur University and completed his fourth year this year, appeared in GATE 2020 and scored a rank scored 5th rank in all India. This is only possible due to the financial help extended by FFE. I appreciate the role of FFE in transforming the lives of so many underprivileged students throughout the India and especially in West Bengal. And without FFE's help, these students could not have been completed their study. I also appreciate the role of donors who behind the scene has extended so many help and changed the life of the students. At last, my suggestion to all the students is that you are now studying in different engineering and government colleges, and you are from a underprivileged and weaker section of the society. But after passing this, you will be established in the society, and when you will be established professionally, don't forget your root, because if you forget your root, you will lose your identity. I will conclude with best wishes to all of you and hope this webinar will be a success.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful message. We are thankful to each one of our facilitators who are in fact the backbone of our organization and some of them are here today with us. Mr. Vikas Paladi, Mr. Sukumal Chakrabarti, Mr. Neil Ratan Mondal, Mr. Nirmandu Chakrabarti, Mr. Anantakumar Ghurai, Mr. Abhijit De, Mr. Divyandu Sarkar, Mr. Uday Hathi, Mr. Chandicharan Biswas, Mr. Rajiv Gupta Sarma, Mr. Suchan Kumar Pan, Mr. Dilip Kumar Sasmal, Mr. Basudev Chatterjee, Mr. Kalyansh Ghosh, Mr. Anjan Kumar Pati, Mr. Asim Sinha Rai, Mr. Vijay Krishna Sarkar, Mr. Anandamoy Manna, Mr. Lakshman Ghosh, and Mr. Syed Fazil Rafiq. Today, we are also recognizing some of our facilitators from West Bengal, and I would request you all to please join me in congratulating them and cheer for them by sending messages on the chat box as their names are being called out. I would like Dr. Sudha to please take over. May I request Dr.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
No.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all our facilitators for being here with us this evening. Thank you all for your dedicated services that you have been giving to FFE, for some of you for decades now. And it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to say thank you for all that you do for us. As a special token of appreciation for our facilitators, all we are doing tonight is giving a certificate of appreciation for the outstanding and dedicated services to the foundation. And it's my pleasure to call out their names as the certificates come up. I'd like to start with Mr. Vikas Paladi. Congratulations, Mr. Chandicharan Biswas, Mr. Syed Fazil Rafiq, and Mr. Kalyan Akash Ghosh. I know all of you are here tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And we will continue to seek your services for the Foundation for Excellence as we grow over the years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We thank each one of you for your dedication and commitment towards FFE. May I now request all the panelists to please switch on their video cameras for all the participants here to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Coming up next is a video message from FFE scholar Safina Khatun, who's currently pursuing her MBBS from Medical College, Kolkata. Let us hear from Safina.
Hello everyone, I am Safina Khatun, a final year MBBS student of Medical College, Kolkata, West Bengal. My father owns a small business and mother is homemaker. I got 89% in my 10th and 93% in my 12th. Then cleared medical entrance examination with a rank of 77. But managing the expenses of this long course was difficult for me. Then I got to know about FFE from my seniors, and I am now part of FFE for last 4 years. I would like to thank FFE and FFE team for providing me with this scholarship, which helped me to manage my expenses throughout my course. I would also like to thank my donor Capgemini Technology, and finally I would like to thank my facilitator Mr. Rajiv Gupta Sarma sir for his guidance and support. FFE also conducted many webinars for medical students, and in future I would also like to join FFE and contribute to FFE for helping the needy student in the same way FFE have helped me. Thank you, FFE team, again.
Thank you so much, Safina. We have another video message from FFE scholar Komneni Vijay, who's currently doing his BTech from Indian Institute of Engineering Science and Technology, Shibpur. Can we have his video, please?
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Komneni Vijay. I am from Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, and I am currently studying my BTech 4th year in aerospace engineering at IST Shipur, Hora. My father is an electrician and mother is a housewife. I have an elder brother who have completed his graduation and got hired in Wipro recently. I have cleared my JEE in 2017 with an All India rank of 19,502. After JOSA counseling and joining college, I have heard about FFE from one of my seniors, Mr. Manikanta Mudedla, who is also an FFE scholar, and so I have applied for the scholarship. Since then, FFA have been taking care of me not only in terms of finance, but also in building my career by providing me with the trainings for necessary skills through Anguru English program, Pariksha aptitude learning, Coursera courses, resume building and corporate etiquette training by Empower Ananya and SAP Labs, and also the mock interviews and annual AMCAT examinations, which help me to test my knowledge and to improve in sections where I am weak at. I wish all the best and also suggest my juniors to take full opportunity of these trainings and excel in both studies and career. I would like to thank FFE, Team FFE and my donor Evu Foundation for providing me with this scholarship and guidance. Also, I would like to thank my facilitator, Mr. Ramaraju Srinivasrao sir, for being with me all the time in need. I wish to help FFE in years ahead to continue to guide students like me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vijay. We have more than 300 scholars from colleges of West Bengal joining us today. And we have one more message coming from FFE scholar Rahul Roy, who's pursuing BTech from NIT Durgapur. Let's hear from Rahul.
Good evening everyone, my name is Rahul Rai. I am a BTech finalist student of NIT Durgapur. My father is a taxi driver and my mother is a housewife. After clearing my 10th and 12th standard as a block topper, when I joined NIT Durgapur, I got to know about FFE from one of my friends. And then FFE helped me to manage all my college expenses. And most importantly, the mentoring program by FFE, which I had gone through for last 4 months, not only just helped me to build my interpersonal and communicational skills, but it also helped me to get a proper clear insight of corporate work culture. And being a Bengali, I never imagined myself delivering a speech like this without the help of my mentor, Mrs. Maima Sharma Madam. I am really thankful to her for that. And I'm also thankful to FFE and the entire FFE team for the financial aid and the scholarship. And again, I'm thankful to my donor, Mr. Jai and Mrs. Anu Madam for their financial aid. And lastly, I'm thankful to my facilitator, Mr. Laxman Kusta, for the continuous help and assessment and the guidance. And again, I would like to say that I'll be coming back again and again, and I'll be helping FB Scholar again and again.
Thank you so much, Rahul. And we are glad to hear that Rahul has been benefited through FFE's mentorship programs. I also take this opportunity to thank our mentors who have joined us today from various organizations like Bosch, Axtria, Intel, Boeing, Dell, Cargill, Capgemini, KLA, Randstad, and Miss Anjali Chalisgonkar, who's joined us today. Thank you so much, mentors, for your guidance and constant support to FFE scholars. Thank you so much for taking out time today from your busy schedule to join us and attend the event. Thank you so much. Students, I request you to please keep posting your questions in the Q&A box. As we move ahead now, we have one more poll coming up for our students. I request all the scholars to please participate in the poll that is up on your screen right now. I request all the students to please participate in the poll. We'll be discussing the poll results at the end of this event. For now, I request all of you to please participate in the poll and answer to the questions. Thank you so much, students, for participating in this poll. And as we move ahead, the event won't be complete without recognizing our alumni, whose time and support in all forms is deeply valued by us. We are thankful to all FFE alumni who are joining us today. We have a lovely video message from our alumni, Mr. Kush Saha. Graduated in year 2005, Mr. Saha is currently working with National Institute of Science Education Research, Orissa. Let us now hear him.
Hi, I am Kush Saha, currently residing in Orissa. I became a part of FFE back in 2003.
Shubha, can we have the video, please?
Started to help FFE as a donor. After finishing my PhD, I spent several years in 3 different countries and then finally came back to India 2018 to join National Institute of Science Education and Research, Bhubaneswar, as an assistant professor. I am still continuing my support to FFE. I appeal to all current scholars of FFE to come forward and contribute to FFE once you are settled down. That will help FFE to support more number of students in coming years. With your helping hands, together we can make this world a better place for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saha, and we truly appreciate the fact that you've stayed connected to FFE. And with this, we have come to the end of today's session. On behalf of the board, management, and team at FFE, I would like to thank each one of you for being today with us. The event was made possible only because of your support. Our sincere thanks to Ms. Sagarika Sen, Mr. Anurag Pratap, Mr. Nirmalya Khan, Ms. Rimi, and team members of Capgemini for joining us today and spending their valuable time with us. Thank you, Mr. Nirmalya, once again for sharing your inspirational journey with us. Thank you, Mr. Rajiv Gupta, and FFE scholars Safina Khatun, Mr. Vijay and Rahul Roy, FFE alumni Mr. Kush Saha for sharing your insightful journey with us. Thank you, respected facilitators and mentors, for your valuable time. And special thanks to all the students and alumni present here today. Last but not the least, thank you to the FFE management for their continuous support and to the FFE team for organizing this event. Special thanks to Priyanka, Ramesh, and Anju for seamless coordination and ensuring that the event is successful. Thank you all. Before we begin the question and answer session for today, I would like to let you know that there is a feedback form which will pop up on another tab when you end this meeting. I request all of you to please take a minute to fill the form, to fill the survey. We shall be also sending the link of the feedback form on your email IDs as well. Please do take out some time and fill in the form for us. I would now quickly like to share the results of our second poll with all of you. As we see, 60% of students have still not renewed their scholarship for this year. We request all of you to please renew your scholarship at the last date of 31st October. For any questions or any difficulties in filling the form, please post your questions in the Q&A box, and our scholarship team will address those questions in the end. As we scroll down, we see most of the students have benefited from various training programs and courses which has been provided by FFE. And we are glad to say that most of the students have also connected with FFE through LinkedIn and Facebook account. Those students who are still not connected with FFE on these social accounts, I request to please join FFE for its latest updates, various internship and job opportunities updates on these accounts. We'll be sharing the link of Facebook and LinkedIn on our chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you, students, for for posting your answers on this poll. Today with us, we have various FFE team members also participating from training and skill development. We have a mentoring team here and scholarship team. May I please request Ms. Jennifer, who's heading the training and skill development team, to address the audience.
Thank you, Taruna. Good evening, all. I'm here to address the engineering scholars about AMCAT test and the related training offered in FFE. So everyone works hard to get the dream jobs. But however, the demand for job is higher than the supply of job opportunities. Therefore, you need to do something that will get you into the limelight. So this is where AMCAT comes into picture. What is AMCAT? AMCAT is an employability exam which judges you based on your skills and your readiness to join the corporate workforce. This assessment shows you the reality of where you stand, how polished your skills are. You can get a better understanding of both your strengths and weaknesses. So let me tell you that AMCAT test will be the first level of interview, that is your written test in most of your placements. So unless you clear this round, there is no way of portraying your technical talent to the recruiters. So FFE takes the responsibility of identifying your areas of improvement and roll out the English and aptitude programs that is required to clear the AMCAT test. Kindly take these trainings seriously, as these are life-changing opportunities. Make use of the programs given to you and show improvement in the upcoming AMCAT test. By this, you can groom yourself with more confidence and become corporate ready. I would like to quickly share a video of an FFE scholar who graduated recently, sharing his feedback and thoughts about the training program and how it helped him in cracking the placements. Can I have the video, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Mayur and I have Warangal. The FFE organization not only helps their scholars economically, but it also provides some educational programs and educational courses which helps the scholars achieve their career goals. So there was the AMCAT program in my second. AMCAT program taught me many useful things which helped me cracking my internship interviews as well as placement interviews. So there was this Hello English app provided by FFE. Under that app course, I learned the speaking skills, and because of that I can speak fearlessly and fluently in English. Apart from this, there was the another course which taught us qualitative and quantitative aptitude, which taught the tips and tricks of solving really difficult problems in seconds, which also helped me cracking the interview rounds of the companies. And I really thank FFE for providing the support I needed in my career path and helped me achieve my career goals. And I'll be very happy to provide the same help and support to incoming batches. And thank you so much.
That was a good video from Mayur. So I would like to answer questions coming up for placements and internships. So FFE doesn't have a structured placement program, but we do reach out to the students when we come across opportunities from corporates. So I kindly request all the FFE scholars to keep checking your mails, because that is our first mode of communication to all the students. So in case there is any opportunity, we will reach out to you through mails. Stay connected. Thank you. Over to Taruna.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Before we begin the question and answer session for today, I would like Dr. Sudha to kindly say a few words to the participants.
I would like to use this opportunity to say thank you to all the participants. Congratulations to the scholars. Please make sure to send in your complete application forms so that we can process it in time and grant you the scholarship. My grateful thanks to the entire Capgemini team for participating in this event today. Thank you to all our scholars, our alumni, our very valuable volunteers, our facilitators, and also various mentors from various corporates who've made this event a priority, and thank you for your participation. I think we've come this far because of the support of numerous individuals, numerous corporates, foundations, and that is the only way that we will continue our journey. Thank you for being a part of it. And students, please stay on, because we will take up a lot of your questions about the scholarship process, the application, and ways in which we can help you. Submit your application so that you can get your scholarship quickly. Thank you all. Thank you very much for your participation. And the biggest thanks goes to our team for all the work that you all do for making this program a success. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Sudha. Now, I think we should start with the Q&A session. We have Avkash Kumar. We have students who've asked, how is recent FCRA? One second, I think this is just gone up. Okay, what challenges were faced when FFE was started? Sudha, you would want to take that?
Yes, I think in the early years, I was not part of the organization at that time, but I understand that they supported students in high school, in various disciplines, including bachelor's, BA, BSc, BCom, students from 8th standard onwards, high school students. They supported medical students and engineering students. And with limited resources, the mission of the organization had to be accomplished. And the transformation happened, as you all know, when students get their degrees and get a job. And what the organization found in the early years is, with a small amount of money, they found that the students they supported in engineering and medicine, the professional courses, those students got jobs right away. And students who did other courses needed other additional skills. For example, maybe they needed to do an MBA, they needed computer skills, maybe an MTech. And the organization didn't have money to support all of those other postgraduate degrees and other skills that are needed for a job. But those with degrees, professional degrees, like you all, engineering and medicine, and now of course we have B.Pharm and law, we found that all of you students got jobs. And so our entire scholarship program then became very focused to just support students in professional programs where you have a national test, and it is truly a merit and means program. So that is a brief history, the 25-year history of the foundation, and how we landed up with supporting only professional programs and a clear focus to make sure that you all are able to pursue your dreams, whatever that is, and bring about a transformation of your lives, of your families, of your communities, and you are able to contribute to society and to the Foundation for Excellence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sudha. Video is off. You can just switch it on. There's one more question which has come up. It says, how is recent FCRA Act going to affect the development and non-profit sectors in general and FFE in particular?
That's a very good question. I think it has a very far-reaching impact. We find that a lot of NGOs that are working on the ground, the smaller NGOs, often will not have FCRA, and which is the ability or the clearance by the Ministry of Home Affairs to get foreign donations. So how do they do their work? The money comes to an organization like a Give India, Benevity, other such intermediary organizations that that have FCRA, get the foreign donations, and then they move it to the smaller organizations on the ground that do the real hard work. Unfortunately, the new amendment to FCRA says that they cannot re-grant. It has to go directly to the organization that does the work. So I think there is a lot of upheaval about what happens to those organizations all over India, in the most remote corners, that do very impactful work if they're not allowed to get the money because they don't have the FCRA approval. Fortunately for FFE, A lot of our donations do come directly to our FCRA account. However, we will be impacted in some way because donors have to decide. Those who've been giving us money through intermediaries like Benevity, like Give India, like For Cause, there are various different organizations. They will have to figure out how they can give us the money by bypassing the intermediaries. We, FFE as an organization, we get the money and we do the work. So it works very well for us. And I hope our donors, I know I'm very confident that our donors who've been with us for a long time, they will continue to support us. And we hope, we can do our job like we've always done. And we think the impact on FFE will be fairly minimal. So the bottom line is you don't have to worry about your scholarships. You do not have to worry about.
Thank you. That's the most important for the students,
yes.
I'm sure. There's one more question from Aniket Banerjee. He says FFE has mentioned FFE help us through mentorship programs, and recently we were asked to sign up on an online portal. It would be very helpful if you tell us more on how do we move ahead about these mentorship programs.
All right. I don't know whether the mentorship team is here, but I'm happy to take this question. So once you've enrolled in the program, you will go through an orientation. Our team will match you to a mentor, and you will begin the mentorship program with your mentor, and we will very closely both work with you so that you understand the program and you reap the maximum benefit from it. It's very simple and straightforward, but what it means is a commitment from you, because your mentor has committed to their time, the energy, and the effort to be part of the mentoring program. So if you've signed on as a mentee, you will go through a very detailed orientation. We'll tell you what is expected of you, and what we require from you is your commitment to go through the entire program, and your life is going to be so much more enriched once you finish the program. So we'll be reaching out to you to give you all the details.
Thank you so much, Sudha. There's one more question. It says how the connections with companies exactly work. Pratna, would you like to take it?
Yeah. So I think this is more from the alumni perspective. What we're looking at is once you become an alumni, we look at you also as brand ambassadors of FFE. So that's the way the whole circle of giving works. You can come back, adopt a scholar. You can come back, contribute to FFE as a mentor. You can come back, contribute to FFE as a speaker who wants to conduct sessions. But also at the same time, you can be brand ambassadors in your organization. You can talk to your CSRs, your HRs about FFE. And if you're already not in partnership with the organization you work with, this is the best chance for you to quote yourself as an example and talk about FFE to them. So this is how our indirect donations also come in, and this is how we partner with other organizations, and we have new partnerships through the year, is a lot through our alumni. So I request all the alumni here, if we are already not in partnership with your organizations, please go back, reach out to your HR. Check with them if FFE, fills in the criteria of their CSR initiatives for the year. And please try taking this forward and connecting us. So that's how we connect with companies.
Thank you so much, Pratna. We have one more question which says, Ms. Nabila, she asked how FFE choose or designate facilitators for their organization. Sudha, you want to take it?
That's a very good question as well. So this is a position that it's an honorary position. So we make sure that we know the individuals. Over the years, the facilitators or volunteers have come to us through word of mouth and referrals from either board members, donors who know of others who are committed to making a difference in their local community, are involved, are interested in the field of education. And the way one becomes a volunteer for FFE is to write to us, and there is a form to be completed. Ideally, if you know somebody in the organization, that would be the best way to actually, get the information required for you to sign on as a volunteer. And there is, as you know, it's a very important role with responsibilities. We share those responsibilities with you. We give you an ID, and that ID stays with you for the entire time that you volunteer with us. And students are then matched to you for mentoring, for any other kind of support. So we're delighted to bring on board volunteers because we need committed individuals who are willing to give their time as volunteers to work with our student community. And so in various parts of India, we do have a shortfall of volunteers. We'll be happy, to onboard new volunteers into our program.
We have one more question. It says, what is the future vision of FFE? So
I think it's a very, very interesting question because as you all know, I mean, the biggest disruption in education is happening right now. COVID has broken all barriers. And what we thought we needed, of course, we needed to be in college, in a classroom setting. Unfortunately, all of that is gone. So we don't know whether 2 years from now, an engineering degree will be important, or would your skills be more important? Should you be getting just the skills after 12th grade? Do you need a degree? Do companies say, you need to have these 5 top skills, and if you acquire these skills and you get certified, and which can be done online, we are willing to hire you. So you may not need an engineering degree. So we are opening our minds to all the possibilities that may come upon us in the next few years, and we are going to be very agile. FFE is going to adapt to the change, and we are very clear. FFE's vision and mission is to grow, able to scale, but it has to be done with impact. So we do not want to be able to support 10,000 engineers when there are no jobs for, say, 5,000 of them. We would want to do something that is, we want to invest in programs, definitely in individuals, where we create impact and that you can make a difference in your life. So I want to say that we are very open to new possibilities, and we will shift and change gear if that is what is needed, because the future is going to be very different. I think what they say is 65% of the jobs of the future are not known today. So we have to be ready for what that is, and we are going to be very agile. And I hope all of you will think along the same lines, that you will not have a job for life. It's going to be a life of learning, of upskilling, and changing course so that you stay relevant, your skills are relevant, and you can stay ahead of the curve.
Thank you. We have Abdul Ghazi. His question is, my dream is to clear USMLE, United States Medical Examination, but I'm fully out of guidance. Will Team FFE help guide me?
I think what I would say, and Pratna, you can probably help here, is I think we have our alumni. Many of our medical alumni today are established doctors in India. And I think we can look through our database and see how many of them are in the US. And I think they would be very valuable source of input and feedback for how you can also pursue that path that you desire. Pratna, anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, no, I think you've covered it, Sudha, but it would also help, to connect with us on LinkedIn and Facebook. Yes, at least we are trying to use this platform to connect both alumni and scholars and create smaller groups where there are common interests. So the first thing you should do is connect with us on LinkedIn and Facebook, and definitely you will find somebody there who will help you.
I agree with Pratna, because any question that you have, anything that you're thinking of doing, please know that somebody is very likely in the alumni community who's been through that. And so I think it's important, instead of relearning the whole process, use and network with our alumni, and as Pratna mentioned, through LinkedIn and our social media networks. So please do that.
Thank you. Mohammad Nurallah asks, do FFE provide any course to upskill coding like C language and data structures? Jennifer, you want to take this?
Yeah. Yes, we do provide IT reskilling courses, but we do it in the third year. And to acquire these courses, again, the AMCAT scores play a very important role. So I would request all the students to take part in the AMCAT scores quite seriously, because these IT reskilling courses are given only on the basis of your scores in AMCAT. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I think now most of the questions are on renewal of scholarship. You want to take, Shubha?
Yeah, sure. I have been looking at the question Q&A box, and I have seen quite a few questions on renewals. Also, the poll results indicated that almost 50% of you have not created your application. I have a short presentation. Please pay attention. I will answer all your questions, and you will be able to do not worry about scholarship, because we are here to help you. We want you to apply for your scholarship. We will provide you scholarship. We will answer all your questions. Okay, please just have a look at this presentation. Okay, the last date for creating your renewal application is 31st October 2020. Note that you can upload your documents even after October 31st, not to worry about it, but you cannot create your application after October 31st. So I repeat again, students, please create your renewal application with minimum documents. What documents you can create without waiting for college results, etc., I will come to that. So as you can see, because of the COVID year, we are not asking you to get attestation from your college or from your facilitators. For this year, attestation is not required on any of the documents. As you can see, 117 students have not yet applied from West Bengal out of the 292 students. Renewal applications, we have seen only part of you. Another 117 applications are yet to come in. Maximum applications are from Jadavpur University. 55 of you have not created your application, and some of the medical students also from Medical College Kolkata, Neel Ratan Sirkar Medical College. Some of you have not created application. Our request to you to first create your application with the basic documents. Now, what are those documents? Okay, for most of the engineering students, these are the questions. Even semester exams have not been conducted. You do not have even semester grade cards, and you have not paid the college fees because the college has not asked you to pay. These are the kind of questions I've seen in the Q&A box also. So here is the solution for you. Create your renewal application with the basic information. Upload these following documents. Your college ID card can be uploaded instead of the bona fide certificate. I understand that bona fide will only be issued by the college. So right now you don't have the bona fide certificate. No issues with that. Please upload your college ID card instead of that. You upload your bank passbook copy. Some of them have to also put a statement of what you have received scholarship last year. Club both the bank passbook copy as well as the statement and upload it in that placeholder. We understand that the statement of expenses also is issued by the college, and you may not have it because you're all doing online classes from home. You can upload, you try to get the statement of expenses from your college by writing to them. If it is not possible, please upload previous year's statement of expenses. The oath and pledge document and the parent declaration document, these are the two documents which have changed this year from FFE. So download the new version which is available in your renewal application form. And also we have already also sent it to you by email. So please download the new version, take a printout, sign it, and then scan and upload that. You need to write a letter of thanks to your donor. It has to be in Word document, not PDF like the rest of the documents. This is a special document only in Word. Write a letter of thanks to your donor, informing him about your progress, academic progress, and any other extracurricular activities which you have undertaken in this academic year, please inform all those things in the letter of thanks. You can upload that also. Most of you might have got your odd semester grade card by now. I understand in some of the departments in Jadavpur University, you have not received even the odd semester grade card. It is okay. Do not upload anything in that placeholder. Leave it empty. And even semester also, if you have not received, leave it empty. If the college has asked you to pay some kind of fees for the next year of your college, then you have to upload that receipt. If you have paid online payments, even that receipt is fine. Online receipt, please upload that. If you have not paid any fees, please wait. Do not upload anything there. Do not upload last year's receipts. It is no use for us. We cannot process based on that. We understand you all are at home. You all do not have hostel and mess receipts. It is all right. Do not upload last year receipts. We cannot work with that. Okay, another important point I would like to say is some of the colleges, you can download your grade card from the college portal. When you do that, please ensure that your name, your roll number, if your year of study, your college name, these details, if they are visible on the top of the screen, please take a full screenshot so that those things are captured in the document what you upload. Otherwise, it's very difficult for us to take it as a proper grade card. All right, moving on. Some of you have asked this question: what is it if you have not, suppose you are in the first year of medical and MCI has issued the guideline that exams will not be conducted until the college reopens. We understand that, we know that, we are cognizant of that fact. What I want you all to do is, even though you have not moved to your second year, please mention that year 2 sem 3 is the one you have to mention in year in which studying. Otherwise you cannot create your application. And grading system as class or whatever CGPA you would like to mention that. Your percentage is not known, leave that empty. That is not a mandatory field. If your failure ATKT is currently not known, you can fill it as no right now. Once you get your results, we can always change this parameter. You can keep us informed. So whatever is mandatory fields, please fill it with whatever information you have and proceed with the application. If you do not create your application before 31st of October, please note you cannot create your application. The window will be closed. So request you to first create your application with the basic information. For medical students, like I already told you, first year we will wait for your exams to be conducted and your grade cards to be received. And even if they have not asked for fees, we will wait for it. Please leave those placeholders empty. Let your application be in incomplete status only. Don't try to keep on submitting it. Second year students, we understand that your exams will be conducted much later. So you can upload your first year MBBS results, which is already with you. And if you have fee receipts, please upload them. Third year MBBS students also do not have any problem. So you can upload the second year MBBS results. And if your college has asked for fee receipts, please pay it and upload there. If they have not asked, please wait for them to ask. Once they take the college fees, you please upload the receipts there. Okay, what you should not do. Some of the fields you cannot access using your mobile phone. So please use a laptop or a computer. Your renewal application will move smoothly because some of the drop downs do not work in the mobile phone. Upload all the receipts after June 2020 only, because we cannot take anything before in the previous academic year. We cannot consider that. If you do not have hostel and mess bills, it is okay because you are studying from home. Do not upload last year receipts. Only whatever college fees you have paid for registration for the next year, please upload that. As I already told you, bona fide you may not have, you may not be getting from college. Upload your college ID card, that will do. Oath and pledge, I already spoke about it. Use the new versions. And on grade cards, please ensure that the college name and the year of studying semesters are mentioned. Do not just upload some marks because we cannot take it as an authentic grade card. So I have come to an end of it. Taruna?
Thank you, Shibu. I think most of the questions what students have asked has been answered through this presentation. Students will also be circulating the question and answer fact book with you over the email. So all the answers which Shubha has given on this during this call will also be answered through that question and answer document. Shubha, there is a question. It says, all my payment documents are in college due to travel restrictions. I'm not able to go there. I do not have an ID card and also bona fide card. What should I submit?
Okay. If it is possible, please write to your college to issue you an a duplicate certificate. Talk to them, explain the situation to them. If there is somebody working in the college student section, if they're able to issue you an copy of the receipts, that would be very helpful. Yours is a special case, so please write to scholarships@ffe.org. We will specifically tell you what to do and help you out with that.
There is a student asking, I do not have even semester grade card, but since it's mandatory, so what other documents are not getting, so that's why my other documents are also not getting updated without,
like I explained to you.
What do I do?
Okay, Taruna. Thank you. Like I explained to you, if you do not try to submit the application because you do not have all the documents, leave the application in incomplete status, upload only the documents which are proper and correct, and leave the application as is. Once you receive your grade cards, you can upload them and then click on the submit button, and then your application will be complete. Yeah,
thank you. A student asked, my application shows documents missing. A mail from FFE says to upload the copy of passbook showing the scholarship amount transferred. But where is the space of uploading it?
Okay, like I told you in the presentation, please club your statement along with the passbook copy. The first page of your passbook, you're taking a copy of that, club it with the statement and upload it in the same placeholder. We understand there is no separate placeholder. Club both together to 2 pages and upload it in the passbook copy place.
Thank you. A student says, I once called my facilitator early in the lockdown. Do I need to call again for scholarship renewal?
It is good to be in touch with your facilitator. So please call him and inform him about what are the trainings you have taken, where are you with the renewal, and how are you doing your online classes. There is no harm. But if you've called him during the COVID situation, that date will also work, provided it is after May 2020. You can enter that date and proceed. If not, you can always call your facilitator. Please remember, the facilitator is like your mentor, who will guide you, will help you, because he has more information, more experience with life. Thank you, Taruna.
Thank you. A student says, what if my facilitator changes? Whom should I contact?
Your facilitator, normally a facilitator does not change. If there has been any change, you please contact us on scholarships@ffe.org or the phone numbers which you have on the website, the landline numbers. We will paste it on the chat box for you. Please call us. We will guide you which facilitator to contact.
Thank you, Shubha. There are a lot of questions which are coming up that we do not have results. Mainly, they are based on results that we do not have semester mark sheet. What do we upload? Anything, Pratna, which you see and I'm missing?
No, I think one of them just says that I can't understand what is filling up a renewal without submitting.
All right. Yeah, like I told you, the scholarship window will close after October 31st. So no problem. The moment you create your renewal application, it gets created in our database, even if you have not submitted it. Please understand that it gets created even if you upload 1 or 2 documents which we have requested you as a basic documents, like college ID card, your passbook copy. These are the things. These are the documents which you already have: parent declaration and pledge, oath and pledge, letter of thanks. There are almost 5 documents to 6 documents which you can always upload. It will only keep the status as incomplete, which is fine. We understand most of the colleges in Kolkata, West Bengal, the results have not been declared. So we will wait for it. We will wait for your colleges to declare the results. Please understand, without the results, we cannot process your application. Without the college asking you to pay some fees, we cannot process the application. But we cannot wait indefinitely for you to create the application. Create the application with the basic documents, and we will wait for you to upload the documents. Even after October 31st, you can upload documents. I hope I'm clear. And I hope
So
I've answered. Yes, Sudha.
so Shubha, I think the point is that you cannot create your application after October 31st. You would
Yes.
miss the deadline. So you have to create it before October 31st, and you can even submit after that time. Is that correct?
Correct, Sudha.
Yes.
You have to create it before October 31st.
Yes.
If you do not create it, then after 31st, there will be no place for, it will not accept your application at all. So you can upload documents after October 31st, no issues. You can submit it after October 31st, no issues with that.
Shubha, we have one more question. Sumit Kumar asked, what should be placed in place of fee structure of college?
You can upload last year's fee structure. That is totally acceptable.
Okay. Mohammed asks, can I submit library card issued by college in place of identity card?
If you do not have your college ID card, all right, we can make some exception, but please write to us on scholarships. We will check your specific case and we will help you out.
Okay, thank you. Pratna, do you have?
No, I think a few questions are there about the passbook, Shubha, that they have uploaded only the main page, passbook page, and not the bank statements.
Yes, you can always replace the document. Please create a new document with the first page of passbook and attach the statement of statement of the scholarship amount received last year. Club them both into one PDF document and you can replace that document. That is not an issue. Yeah, Pratna, thank you.
Yeah, sure. I think more or less they're repetitive questions.
Yeah, we have covered almost all the questions.
And maybe Taruna, we can talk about that we will share a YouTube link with all the scholars where we have captured these questions, the free FAQs, basically frequently answered questions. These will be shared with the scholars, so you can take a look at them once again if you are not able to completely catch up on what was said today. But we hope we have answered most of your questions. So definitely we will share the YouTube link and that will help you answer your questions.
Yeah, thank you, Pratna. So I think with this, we can wrap up the event for today. We have answered almost all the questions which were asked in the Q&A box. And as Pratna mentioned, we'll be also sharing the YouTube link with all the students. Those who have missed it can go back to the YouTube link and get their answers. Students, we also have more open house events coming up next week, and after that you can let your friends who are in Tamil Nadu to attend, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka to attend the open house events. And thank you so much for being part of this event today. And with this, we wrap up the event for tonight. Thank you once again, everyone, and have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.